So, Tobi Phillips has been forced to sign an undertaking not to ever step her foot into the Ooni's palace again. And as this matter is going right now, it is indeed a thing that everyone would learn from. Because Toby Phillips have done a lot of things lately that warrants being arrested. But because the Ooni is a very considerate person and he chooses not to fight the way these women fight. That is why today Toby is still vibrant and elegant in the palace and she's doing whatsoever she wants to do. So my people, oh, as the matter take the rituals, like so, Olori Tobi has lost again. Yes, one more time, Tobi have lost something very vital. Because before now, if you ask, someone will say that at some point Tobi has a few chances of returning back into the palace. But it is right now, she does not have any single chance at all as for her returning back into the palace because she has categorically ruined a lot of things for herself. So you would want to know what and what Tobi have ruined for herself. The moment it became unverified if those children belongs to Tobi or Ooni is even the father of those children, that was a point where Tobi was meant to calm down. Now some people will say if Tobi calms down it will prove that there have been one evidence found against her that she's coming down. But no, when you know what you have done and it begins to come against you, at that point, no matter what you do does not justify your actions. You just have to calm down. But Tobi did not. Maybe in the midst of you coming down would even warrant a little mercy to be shown on your life. But Tobi didn't. That was the point where Tobi came out, fought, do whatsoever she felt she could do. And during that period, Tobi proved to everybody that she's capable, she can do this, she can do that, and gradually it has now turned against her. So Olori Tobi, who has been in Lagos for quite some time now, came back into the palace because the Ooni had asked for a DNA test. And Tobi agreed to that DNA test simply because she felt she would be given a chance to, outsee every single thing. All of a sudden, Ooni said no, it will be run in a hospital of my choice by a doctor of my choice. And it became so inconveniencing for Tobi because she felt she would be the one in total charge and she could manipulate one or two things. So that led to Tobi coming into the palace and vandalizing one or two things that were at her access. She came in, she was angry, she was furious, she did one or two things that were not right. Yes, that was what Tobi came into the palace to do. And from then, the Ooni's friend, who is a doctor in Lagos, also reached out. And when the man reached out, he was on an opinion that these things are not difficult, they're just very simple things. If Tobi doesn't want to come, Ooni should just get something that belongs to those children, maybe their hair or something, just bring it. They can run any of these tests and Ooni will see the result. So Tobi is now keeping her children away from the Ooni because she feels once the Ooni gets close or anybody in the palace gets close to these children at all, they might try to find one or two things that they will use for that DNA that she's not ready to do. So Tobi leaves to leave the palace. She doesn't want to because she feels once she steps out of it, there is no coming back again. And right now she is there fighting. She's fighting tirelessly because she feels that's her only chance to remain in the palace. And what they only did was simple: make her sign an undertaking not to ever step her foot into the palace again. At this point, it is safe to say that Tobi have lost it once again because Tobi had the chance to change. She had the chance to make things right. She had a chance to, right her wrongs, but she said no. She wants to trade on the wrong path. She wants to do a lot of things that are not right. Because when Tobi went to meet the Brazilian seer, let's say, for example, that the man succeeded in giving her what she wanted, Tobi would have been somewhere today waiting to see the outcome of those things, but the man could not. The man was going after a very renowned person, and him himself could not even execute that very plan. So what he did was to quietly come and tell the owner that this is what your wife this is what your wife wants. Your wife wants to destroy you, she wants to ruin you. And from there, the owner became highly disappointed in Olori Tobi because in as much as these things happen, this man is a custodian of the Yoruba culture. Tomorrow he will definitely hand over to another person. What record is he handing over? And when he finally becomes a father to a king, then what will be of him? The same way his father handed over to him, and the father has been nothing but a proud father. So what about him when he finally hands over? So all of these things are the things these women don't see. And these women gets to always overlook the fact that there are so many kings that come to bow down before this man. When the news of Naomi returning back into the palace broke out, we heard how all the Oloris from different kingdoms came in celebrating with Naomi. We heard how they came in. They celebrated with this woman over and over again. But for them, it is nothing. I don't know whether it's because they are already married to the man that they don't respect him, they don't regard that particular position he holds. But look at people traveling all over, renowned politicians, you see top musicians, top actors, you see them coming into that palace to pay tribute to the king. They come, they bow down, they lie down because what they ought to pay tribute to the king. But his wives are not seeing that. You know, when the Ooni's stepmother once said that it is quite unfortunate that these women have decided to project the palace in a bad view, because when you look at the palace in the perspective these women are putting out on the internet, you would not want to even come there. But deep down, all of us know that the palace is one of the most amazing places that one can ever be to, because the Ooni is indeed a good person. But quite unfortunate, he has gotten married to wives that don't want to give him rest, neither do they want to even give him the room to breathe. So my people right now know that is what is happening. Although Tobi Phillips have finally signed an undertaking not to ever step her foot into the palace again. And as long as the palace remain, we don't know who will revoke that undertaking for her. Because the way this matter is going right now, one of these days, we might hear that they only have given an order for Tobi to be arrested. So all of these things, they will they will continue this way until these women come to a realization of what they are doing is wrong. You know, when Ooni's father said that these women don't know. In fact, they have not even come to a realization that this thing we are doing is wrong, because they feel they are fighting for a cause. They feel they are doing something that worth recognition. So how would they stop if they don't come to that realization that what they are doing is wrong? So right now, so the matter, it can't take B. Because as it is right now, if these women don't come to a realization that so all of these things we have done in the palace, they are not right, we need to stop, they would never stop. Yes, they would never stop. They will keep on fighting. And what's the benefit in fighting? Nothing. They will just keep on doing all the things they have been doing, and every single thing will just keep on going sour day after day in the palace. So my people right now, so this matter, it can't take BO.